Sports Betting Network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. During Sharp Week here, as we're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort Casino, day one of the madness. A couple of games are now in the books. A tournament-long prop, or first-round prop that we love every single year, already cashed. That came in moments ago. Today on the program, Eli Hershkovich, college basketball bettor and handicapper, on the program in 30 minutes. His best bets for today and maybe a look at tomorrow as well. We have Bruce Marshall on the program a little bit later on, and in studio, Derek Stevens and Private Plane Wayne. Pauly has called this a top 5 gambling story he's ever heard.
Yeah.
They will share it live on the air at that time.
Yep.
How's your morning going so far?
Okay, not bad. We haven't had the upset, but the games were a little strange early on, and it was great to come in here at 7 in the morning, and the thing was packed and lines out the door. How are you doing? This is great. First time in 7 years we're doing this during the games.
Well, I can tell you that it can be a little frustrating when you lose a couple of bets right away, right? Like I did have the Clemson, check that. I had the Creighton and Louisville first half under. How does that one taste?
Ooh.
All of these first half unders, that trend that was so good, this is insane what is happening right now in this tournament.
That's right.
The first 5 all went over, no problem pretty much. Mm-hmm. So I had that one, that was a loser. I did have Purdue -4 in the first half. That was a winner, but I also had High Point +10 for the game. The kid misses a layup to cut it at 10 late.
Ridiculous. No, that's a completely misleading score. High Point is down 3 with 7 minutes. They were too small, couldn't handle Purdue's size. At that point in the game, Purdue had 16 offensive rebounds, and every time they dumped it down low, it was either a foul or a good look or an easy basket. But I thought they were in a position where they should have had the lead. The shot selection was atrocious. How many times did they come down, one pass, bam, shoot from Curry land?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
They took 28 threes in the game.
Unacceptable.
Purdue out-rebounded them 39-20.
Yeah.
So they absolutely killed them. And by the way, High Point for the year, I mean, I get it with the level of competition, they were a pretty decent rebounding team. Pretty good. Also, in the Wisconsin game, I had Montana +18. They lost by 19.
What happened? It's a 12-point game with like 3 minutes. Come on.
Wisconsin shot 55% from the floor.
Yeah.
And another, mid-major team here, not even mid-major, Montana out-rebounded 38-24 on the glass against the Badgers. But then, I did have the first half over in this Auburn game, and I think that was maybe the story of the day so far. That one did get there late, but they were in a dogfight with Alabama State Paul, if you said that was a misleading score, I think this score at halftime has been misleading.
Yeah, it was 32-31 with a minute and change. I'm looking at the prop. Will a 1 seed be tied or trailing at halftime? +170. That was in play. Alabama State had the ball. And then the Auburn run to get it up to 10 at halftime. And you can already start to talk about they might be in trouble against Creighton. I mean, if Creighton's knocking down their threes and how that game flipped today, that 19-2 run in 4 minutes, three-pointer, 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 three-pointer.
It was raining threes.
Yep, next thing you know, the game's over. So 89 points, and they're going to play Auburn. Auburn better get their act together because they are sleepwalking right now.
And McNeese leads Clemson. I was begging for this show to start so we could be screaming, you need to bet McNeese money line when they were still at plus money. Now they're -270 to win the game. They are out in front 23-8. Folks, Clemson has 8 points. We are under 6 minutes to play in the first half.
What is going on?
They can't.
What do you see?
McNeese is the better team.
Yeah, athletes all over the place. The experience last year, we talked about getting blown out by Gonzaga, but certainly Clemson throwing up an all-time dud. 5 and change left. 8 points.
Yep, here's the story so far. Clemson from the floor, 3 of 15. And they are 0 of 9 from downtown, and they are also getting outworked on the glass 14-9. So McNeese absolutely looks the part so far, almost a full first half. And I was high on Clemson. I think Clemson's good. They had a pretty wicked injury to deal with, and now Clemson just hit a 3 to cut it to 11. But I actually hope they can cut it kind of close to get the numbers a little bit more respectable at halftime and maybe come back on McNeese State. In fact, Clemson right now in play is +3.5. I don't know if I really want to take that because I like what I've seen from McNeese so far. And coming up here in mere moments, we have BYU and VCU. I do have a bet on this game. I have BYU -1 in the first half. Mm-hmm. So we will track this live on the air. Again, this comes down to these two teams from leagues that use a certain basketball. And if it's not the same basketball in the tournament for one team than it is for another, you want to play on the team that is used to playing with this basketball in the first half. That's a trend that has been very strong in like the last 3 years. BYU is that team. So I laid a point with them earlier today, and to go back to what we said right away on Sunday night, it's a little disappointing that these two teams are playing each other.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, but stinks.
The winner is going to get Wisconsin.
Yep.
I don't care. It doesn't matter who wins. I think that game can be really, really good.
Yep.
If it's BYU-Wisconsin, the total is going to be crazy, man.
Are you seeing what they've done the last 12 hours or so with all these totals? They bet all the NIT games over. They moved like 4 points.
Oh, yeah.
The BYU game went from 142.5 to 148.5. They bet the Tennessee game over. They bet the Clemson game over, 34.5 up to 137. UC San Diego, Michigan, 139.5 up to 143. Arkansas, Kansas, 142.5 up to 147. And St. John's, 145.5 up to 150.
Well, the way the tournament's playing out so far.
Yeah.
I mean, the
NIT stuff was surprising, though, too, last night. And they all got there except, I think, the Bradley game.
I'll give you another one, too. It's tipping off in, approximately 30 minutes. We have the screen right in front of us now at DraftKings. Gonzaga's up to 7.5.
Oh, this is crazy. Come on now.
7.5? I'm absolutely playing Georgia first to 10.
Got it. Yep. I took the 7, too. I thought, and then it goes up to 7.5. So 2-11 against quad ones. Turnover prone. They did beat Florida, but had their issues against the rest of the schedule. And Gonzaga, again, right, this power rating that they haven't lived up to since the first game of the season. Make it make sense. Mm-hmm. Now, 21-3 in the first round, but I got to win by 8 here? I can't, I'm blown away. I cannot believe this spread.
Yeah, this market move right before tip-off.
When were you impressed with them? When? When were you last time you were impressed with Gonzaga? The first 30 minutes against West Virginia? Which was in what, November?
No, it was right around the same time. It was the first half against Kentucky.
Okay, and they lost the game.
And they're up by like 15 at halftime. They were exceptional in that game, or in the first half. But a first half does not mean a full 40-minute game, obviously. So they could not, and Mark Pope may had some awesome adjustments in that second half, and Gonzaga never adjusted, and that was all she wrote.
Yep. This is crazy. I think it's absolute lunacy what's going on. For them to be 7.5. Oh, man.
I'm also thinking about maybe Georgia first half as well.
Sure.
Why is it ballooning up here?
Mm-hmm.
Again, people are betting this game as if they're high on Gonzaga. I mean, how long have we heard about this? In round 2, they would have been a small dog on a neutral court against some of the best teams in the entire country. And we're going to see it if they win this game because they're an 8 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the prop that cashed.
Yes.
Didn't even take a full session.
Right.
A full morning session or early afternoon session. And that is the team, the point total, lowest point total scored by any team in the first round of the tournament. It was 45.5. We talked about this on Tuesday. It goes under almost every single year, depending on the number. Books have adjusted. It was 47.5 a couple years ago. I said I thought 45.5 was probably the right number. Houston, they put one on SIU Edwardsville, and SIU finished with 40 points. So if you found that and you bet that prop under again, you have to wait like 4 hours today to cash it. That's it.
Yeah.
It's good to go.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, like 19-6, 10 minutes in. So you were feeling good at that point. Like, this is going to be tough for him. Absolutely.
Well, so a lot of people were also very high on the team total under because it was 49.5.
That's another one, right? Will Hill was one of them, yes.
And that came down, and that was a good bet. Also, I got to tell you, I think, was there kind of like a bad beat maybe with the total? It was 128. It finished at 118. They had 76 in the first half and completely died in the second half.
Oh, man.
Well, Eddie scored 16 there in the final 20 minutes.
It was crazy, I know, yeah. Well, it was Houston the backups were going hard and taking quick shots at the end. With 3 minutes left until halftime, Clemson has 11 points.
Oh, boy.
Plus 185 in play to win the game. They're down 14. They got 11 points approaching halftime. Oh, but, I mean, a lot of people echo your sentiments. The more athletic and the better team is McNeese.
That really jumped off the page watching the first 10 minutes before we came on the air. I really don't think. I mean, it's maybe fluky how Clemson is shooting, but for McNeese to have a lead is not fluky in my opinion watching the game. And again, I'm high on Clemson. I like them quite a bit. Will Clemson be the second team to score below 45.5 points?
That would be wild, right? You've taken a team. That's crazy if that would happen.
What's their second half team total going to be?
Oh, I know.
You're going to have to put it in the low 40s?
I'm excited to see the halftime with this side and total, and I'm dying to see what Auburn Creighton's going to be. Because Auburn has lost their mojo.
You're begging to bet
Creighton,
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
If the number's going to be high enough, you probably get a pretty good number in that.
Yeah.
In that spot.
Well, it's just, you know what they're going to do. Creighton's coming down, bombs away. And if they're knocking them down, forget about it. I mean, what they did to Louisville today, my God, turn tournament chaos into betting opportunities with the VSiN Pro subscription. Get in $9.99, unlock everything you need to win this tournament and your brackets, every email in the morning from Bill 80, and every best bet, every host, every guest. You get the betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, the 24/7 video, the great trends from Mackinnon, and our betting guide, which is phenomenal. VSiN.com/subscribe, $9.99. Let VSiN help you survive the madness. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Some of these dogs were getting there, by the way, earlier today, first to 10. They were coming in. High Point, I believe,
got there. McNeese got there.
I had that one. I also had a loser on Montana. They had a look, but they could not convert.
Yeah.
So I'm taking when we go to a break here, I'm gonna bet Georgia because that game's gonna tip off here in about 20 plus minutes. I'm gonna bet them in the first 10. I saw before the show started they were plus 135. You can probably find higher than that. And BYU now to a 6-5 lead over VCU 4 minutes into that first half. So we will continue to update games going on. The Gonzaga-Georgia game again tipping off this hour. One team ranks outside the top 100 in this category for the first time since 2010, and it'll get a vibe report here live at Circa next on VSiN.
The betting waters are stirring, and we're ready to strike on VSiN's Sharp Week. Starting Selection Sunday, VSiN will be your captain for March Mania, helping you navigate the madness and land that big bet. Join us as we break down the brackets and provide expert analysis on every game, delivering insights only VSiN can offer. We've stocked the ship with our March Mania betting guide, giving you everything you need to chart a winning course through the biggest betting tournament of the year. Dive headfirst into the free VSiN March Bracket Challenge. Sink or swim for a chance to win up to $5,000 by picking team sides or totals. We're doing it all. Special coverage throughout the tournament, best bets from hosts and handicappers, and a chance for you to win big. Set sail with VSiN, the sports betting network. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe to join us for just $9.99 for the first 30 days. And don't miss Sharp Week, where you're going to need a bigger bet. That's VSIN.com/subscribe.
On the next A Numbers Game, it is Friday, day 2 of the first round of March Madness. The round of 64 continues. We got Chris Valika with all of his plays, the Bear from Fox Sports, plus Steve Fezzik in the hizzy with all of his college basketball and betting thoughts, college basketball and beyond, plus Jason Weingarten, the newly engaged from Under a Cloud of Smoke, what he's betting today, college basketball wall to wall, and some tennis picks too. It's A Numbers Game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN.
This is Sharp Week on VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Wow, what an ugly look today for the ACC. Louisville got absolutely blasted. It was never a game against Creighton. And right now, final possession before the half, Clemson trails McNeese State 31-13. 13 points. And they just missed a shot there, and McNeese now can make a basket here, maybe to even go up by more. That's the score at halftime. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Does this make you freak out about Duke at all?
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I mean, this has just been a debacle, what's gone on here. You're right. Clemson scored 13 points in the first 20 minutes, and going back to the Louisville game when Creighton hit him with the 19-2 run, that was it. In play now, Clemson plus 340 to win the game. 117.5 is the total.
Wow.
117.5. McNeese is 9.5 for the game now.
Sure. Why not? All right, let's go from the studio here at the Sportsbook outside the Stadium Swim. VSiN's Grace Remington joins us along with the owner of this great property, Derek Stevens, to get a vibe report. Hello, you two.
Mitch and Pauly, thanks for having us. I'm here with the owner of Circa Sportsbook, the largest sportsbook in the world, Derek Stevens. The day has finally arrived. You were going for a little swim before this. How's today treating you?
Great day out here at Stadium Swim. Great time to be in Vegas. My God, Sportsbook's packed. Out here is packed. So far, the game's been going pretty smooth until this McNeese State game. I know for sure in the Sportsbook, we are going to need McNeese State because at halftime they're going to be bringing wheelbarrows full of gas coming and taking Clemson in this halftime.
Well, that Auburn-Alabama State game for a while was a little surprising too. I mean, that was a one-point game at some point.
Yeah, I think there's been a couple sweats, but nothing overly dramatic. But I'll tell you what, our in-game action has just been unbelievable.
Wow.
We've been calling this Christmas morning all day. I mean, I was here at...
Okay, we're gonna go back. Little problem there with Derek's mic. We'll go back and reconnect and get a vibe report from them. He said the live action was tremendous all day long.
How about what he said at the end? They're going to come in big Clemson second half. You can't do that after watching the first half, can you? Oh.
Well, they'll make a run. It's inevitable. They'll get the sense of urgency is going to be off the charts here. He's a really good coach. I don't think they're going to, if they lose by, if they lose, clearly that's not a surprise at this point, but if they get blown out, maybe I'd be a little bit surprised by that.
Mm-hmm. Also, everyone was taking his advice earlier. I know I said, what's the best advice you can give people? And when they come to town, he said, you got to line up early and get that app. They were lined up past the coffee shop today at 7 in the morning.
Wow.
They were ready to go. His staff was incredible, signing everyone up. You see it on the second floor. Great job by everyone at Circa.
Clemson's minus 7.5 for the second half. You want a little slice of that?
I do not, no.
I'm taking it.
Yeah?
I'm taking it right now. Little piece of that,
You want plus 350?
No, I do not.
Okay.
No.
That's not enough. No way.
No, I don't think so, but I'm going to lay the 7.5 right now. Down by 18. They'll make a run at some point here. They're too good of a basketball team. And if I'm wrong, I'm dead wrong. Hey, that's the madness, man. You're making bets all the time as these games go along, and you got to, see what your eyeballs are telling you. I mean, they started off, they could not hit a shot. They were 3 of 15 at one point on the first check when he came on the air. They are 5 of 24 from the floor and 1 of 15 from 3. And they're getting out-rebounded.
No, let me go back to your earlier question before we threw it to Derek and Grace. You have to be freaked out because we're not counting Carolina's win over San Diego State because it's the Mountain Worst. Yeah. They do this so right.
I'm right there with you.
Louisville had won 20 of 21 games going into the ACC title game. Mm-hmm. Blown out.
And had Duke down at halftime.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And then this debacle and horrific performance from Clemson on top of that, too.
All right, we'll head back here to Stadium Swim. I think we got it all fixed up here. Back to Grace Remington and Derek Stevens.
Hey guys, we're back. March Madness hit the microphones too, but we're still here and we're operating well. I was saying it feels like Christmas morning, the first round of March Madness every year. This is your 5th March Madness here at Circa Sports. How does it compare this year compared to the last ones?
This is really an unbelievable week. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. All of Las Vegas, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. I heard Pauly talk about it. Yeah, this morning people are waiting in line all the way out to Creswell. It was crazy. So. Everybody loves coming to Vegas, so this is the time you take a couple of PTO days and you're ready to roll.
I was about to say, I got here at 8 a.m. There was a line outside Stadium Swim of everyone ready to get in here an hour before the first tip-off. Saw our first bottle service at 9 a.m., so people are ready to go.
Yeah, you have to start bottle service off early. That's a good luck omen for everybody.
So tell us a little bit about the action you're seeing today. Any late wagers on some of these futures markets, maybe a championship?
I would say couple of things really stand out to us is number one, we're seeing far more in-game as a percentage of overall wagering. And number two, we are seeing far more parlays. We get a certain amount of parlay action. We're really not known as a parlay house, but boy, I'll tell you what, people are coming in. I think maybe they're trained from wherever they're at. I mean, obviously here on property, people are from all over the country, and maybe they're used to playing parlays, but we're seeing a really disproportionate amount of parlay betting.
Right, so you think it's the guess?
Yeah, I think it's a guess. I think. I mean, I've never actually had. I got a couple of big sweats here. Got a $500,000 sweat. We got a $300,000 sweat coming up on a couple of parlays here.
What are the teams those are involved in?
One's tomorrow with Kentucky, so we're not going to be Wildcat fans, but other than that, that's really the big one that keys into a couple of big parlays.
Are these money line parlays, spread, alt spreads?
That's the other thing. These are all money line parlays. It's a little bit different. This is kind of almost reminding me of the way people bet UFC, where that's a heavily parlayed sport where people, you bet 6, 7, 8 teamers. That's kind of what we're seeing. A little bit different this year than years past.
All right, you got any other plans for the rest of the day?
Yeah, I'm going to come and see the guys in studio here shortly. We got Private Plane Wayne. He's all liquored up, but it's still early. He's a big boy. He can sober up in 2 hours. He'll be fine.
Mitch, Pauly, you got anything else for Derek?
Wear the bathrobe in studio.
Yeah, it's a good look.
All right, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
You. There you go.
I can't wait for 3:30.
He's going to be tuned up, huh?
Yeah.
All
well,
right.
people took his advice as well with the early bottle service. I saw a couple people ready to go, feeling good at 11:30, like stumbling into walls.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a little early.
I know. It was 11:30. And the other thing, too, which Grace talked about, I've lived here for 25 years. You as well. I've seen the people lined up early, ready to go for the ballroom, obviously in line to make their bets. I've never seen a line like that to get the apps. I mean, for people who don't know, but because you get your coffee it went past the coffee shop to get up and get your app in order and get everything. That I've never seen.
That's
so
crazy. What time did you get here today?
7:30.
You wanted to check it out, huh?
Yeah.
You were putting out the vibe.
Yes. I like the bagel they have, too. They got a strong bagel.
It's a solid
up there.
bagel. It's
Sure.
pretty good.
Sure. Yeah. Extra cream cheese for me. Excellent. Yep.
I tell you what, I kind of want to go out to Stadium Swim and join them out there.
Yeah, it is good vibe out there.
That's
Excellent.
the spot to be right there.
Private Plane Wayne, loving life. Hit a jackpot last night on that, what's that, piggy game with the wolf? Where you play with the wolf and then he comes, huffing and puffing.
Blow the house down.
He got the jackpot on that.
Do you have any idea what it paid?
$12,000, Luke? I sent it to Luke. We'll show it. $12,000, I think so. Hand pay Wayne, and he'll be coming and telling the story.
He was not one of the guys stumbling into the walls, was he?
No.
Okay, good.
I didn't see that. He's a big boy. He can sober up in a couple hours.
That's not easy to do. What are you going to do? Go to your room during March Madness and have a bunch of water?
Yeah.
Let me hit myself in the face with a 2x4 to wake up here a little bit?
He'll figure it out. Yeah.
All right, second half is underway. Alabama State and Auburn, and the 1 seed has a 50-36 lead. They've expanded that 10-point halftime lead that they had. They were lucky, very fortunate the way that first half played out to be up by 10. Mm-hmm. But now up by 14. And this has been a back-and-forth game, bunch of lead changes. VCU on top of BYU, 17-14. 12 minutes to play in the first half. VCU now your live in-game favorite at -1.5. They're -125 on the money line as well at DraftKings. I looked at the Georgia-Gonzaga game tipping off here this hour. I said this, I was going to bet them for the first team to score 10 points because the number one set at 7.5, but the number came down to be the first to 10. It was +135 here at Circa, and now it's +125. Others must have the same idea, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Well, how about the guys who made the schedule going back-to-back 116 games?
Yeah, I don't recall that happening.
And this early? Yeah. That's a bad job.
Yeah, those were the two to tip off, like in the same exact hour. Houston, I think, was 2 o'clock Eastern, and then Auburn game was 2:50 or whatever.
Game. Yeah.
Yep.
So then Gonzaga, Georgia, and then we wait till 3:50 Pacific with Tennessee and Wofford. And I think Tennessee puts it on Wofford. Could bury them. Bad Wofford team. Still time to have the ultimate follow the money experience. You just saw the setup there with Derek and Grace. You want to hang with Derek, follow the money. Mike Palm will be sitting on the owner's box down below. Your own server, your own bathroom. 20 people fit there. Kiosk right around the corner. And the blackjack room with all the table games. Get that cabana and hang VSiN Beyond the Booth. VSiN.com/Beyond the Booth. Reserve your day today, whether it's the start of the NFL, playoffs, Masters, whatever you want. Watch VSiN anywhere and hang with us. VSiN Beyond the Booth. VSiN.com/Beyond the Booth Dates limited, first come, first serve.
All right. Still have so many games to go today. That's what makes today and tomorrow really a truly special 48-hour zone that we have every sports calendar year. And up next, Eli Hershkovich is going to join the program. College basketball bettor and handicapper for a long time. We'll find out what he likes a little bit later on today, maybe even a game that he likes on tomorrow's card next here on VSiN.
For just $9.99, VSiN's got you covered for March Mania with a VSiN Pro subscription. You'll get access to bracket breakdowns, daily expert picks, as well as our March Mania betting guide, exclusive to Pro subscribers. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe today to sign up for just $9.99. And don't forget to catch us on the go with the VSiN Watch app or listen on SiriusXM Channel 158 and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is Sharp Week on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We want to see how everybody's doing so far and throughout like the first day, tomorrow, this weekend here on VSiN. You can go to the website here and check it out. It's vsin.com YouTube.com/contest. All of our picks are up there. We put up 20 plays. Everybody did that got involved here for the first round of the tournament. And we head out here on Sharp Week to the Progressive Guest Line as Eli Hershkovich joins the program now, college basketball bettor and handicapper. The podcast is the Lines podcast, and also he does great work at thelines.com. Eli, thanks for the time during the madness today. How are your bets going so far?
Bets are going good. I had Creighton. That was a winner earlier. I know we're kind of going oppo here with VCU and BYU, but always enjoy the madness and always enjoy coming on with you guys.
So I have BYU first half. It's been a really good half so far, 20-19 now. The Cougs lead just under the halfway mark, but you like VCU for the game. Why'd you like them?
So the issue with BYU is, and it hasn't necessarily come to fruition yet, as we know, with handicapping, sometimes we have takes and then they completely go out the window in about 10-plus minutes or so. We'll see what happens in the second half. But BYU, 215, 210, somewhere in that ballpark, below Division I average in turnover percentage. They also give up their fair share of threes. And we've seen VCU knock them down here in the first half. Zeb Jackson had one off the bench for the Rams. So the game is playing out tempo-wise like I would thought, up and down game. I took the 3.5 earlier in the week, so I like the number I got, but I'm at least rooting for your first half bet. How about that?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sounds good.
We can each win.
Yeah. You had Creighton, as you mentioned. Would you take 11? Would you take 10 against Auburn with Creighton?
Well, I was watching the game right before you guys came back from the break. Dylan Cardwell was down on the court, and I know he's not one of Auburn's key scorers, but still an integral part of their defense and offense, frankly, too. A good second chance opportunist. So we'll see what his injury status is like going forward. Granted, it might just be a minor thing, but I just wanted to note that headed in because I saw that right before the TV timeout. But with this handicap and going back to the Louisville game, I like the Big East overall heading into the tournament. So with Creighton and that line getting up to 3.5, I wound up betting on the Jays earlier this morning once it hit 3. And Ryan Kalkbrenner didn't have an incredible game. Jemiah Neal had arguably the best game of his career. So we'll see if he's able to repeat that against a historic defense. I would say the one caveat to betting Creighton in the second round, if you do like them catching around double digits against Auburn, is we saw them last year against Tennessee in the Sweet 16 against an ultra-physical SEC defense. They hung around for a bit, didn't go well in the second half, so maybe you take a look at Creighton first half. But Greg McDermott, an excellent tournament coach, so if you're catching double digits, I also can't blame you if you like the Jays.
Okay, this is down to 1.5 in some spots. Why do you like UC San Diego against Michigan?
Yeah, I didn't expect it to get this low, but I wound up taking the Tritons on open on Sunday night, catching 3.5. It's hard to say if I would advise playing it at 1.5. Maybe try to bet this game live to get a couple points, maybe even a full possession. But Michigan 328th in turnover percentage across college basketball. That's been their biggest bugaboo. And while they have the size advantage, we've seen both Lag Golden and Danny Wolf struggle with their respective turnovers when they get trapped down low. So the Tritons have a size disadvantage. You know they're going to trap down low, try to speed up this game. Also, from a timing standpoint, situationally, Michigan coming off 3 games in 3 days, winning the Big Ten tournament, yes, but now you have to play in high altitude in Denver against one of the best cover rates this year in college basketball. I believe UC San Diego going 27-5, the market unable to catch up all season long. So I think UC San Diego is able to at least keep this game close, take advantage of Michigan's turnover woes, and frankly, take advantage of a Michigan team that, record luck-wise, you're talking about a 14-6 regular season conference record with a negative point differential. That's Minnesota Vikings-esque from a few years ago in the NFL, guys.
Yeah.
Great observation. Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Eli Hershkovich, the Lines podcast and thelines.com. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. I said on the air this week that I'm picking the winner of Texas Xavier to beat Illinois and advance into the tournament. So, having said that, did you kind of think the same thing going into the tournament? And what do you make of Illinois being about a 3.5-point favorite over Xavier?
So you and I are a head-to-head-ish on this VCU BYU game, but we are in the same line of thought. for Xavier. I guess the result of last night, Xavier, Texas. I wound up actually, believe it or not, taking Xavier to the Final Four in some of my bigger bracket pools. You're talking about a top 30 net rating over the last month and a half, and I wound up taking some Final Four, 110-1 before the tournament started. So I'm very high on the Xavier team, and they match up exceptionally well against Illinois. Yes, like Xavier yesterday, Illinois semi-home game, maybe even a 75% home game in Milwaukee tomorrow night. So keep that in mind, but you would expect Xavier fans still to travel well. And comparatively speaking to the potential Creighton-Auburn spread, this game got bet down quickly in favor of the dog. Open, I think 3.5 at most shops, now down to 3 at juice 3.5 in Xavier's direction across the board. Like we saw last night, especially in the second half, Xavier able to take advantage of that Texas drop coverage defense. In 9 of 10 matchups against drop coverage defenses in Big East play, Xavier putting up at least 1.11 points per possession. They put up over 1.2 points per possession last night. Illinois runs drop coverage, so I think that trend continues. Xavier not the best defensively, but we've seen teams make deep tournament runs. Also worth noting, Xavier able to get past Texas last night without a big Ryan Conwell game, without a big Zach Fremantle game. So just intuition-wise, I think that bodes well for them moving forward.
Very good breakdown there. Your early thoughts on North Carolina, not so early anymore, but North Carolina and Ole Miss after what they did to San Diego State.
So I have a long shot back going back to the preseason on Ole Miss. Final Four, I took a little bit of title. Now, I'm not saying I like that at this point. The region is one of the most difficult to me. I think the Midwest region, which is why I bet Xavier to make a run, is the most wide open. But we look at the ACC today, and granted, Clemson a little bit short rotation-wise, especially when you go back to the Dylan Hunter injury at the back end in ACC regular season, ACC tournament play for the Clemson Tigers. And then just the ACC in general might be overvalued market-wise. But if UNC is able to hit threes, and I hate to use this crutch because it's the most obvious thing in the world, but especially against Ole Miss no-middle defense, that's the key. Can you shoot? Can you make threes against a no-middle defense? And on paper, UNC has the three-point shooting to do it. Now, are they going to shoot above 50% from three like they did against a bad Mountain West team, frankly, in San Diego State, at least comparatively speaking to some of the overall 11 seeds in the NCAA tournament? Probably not. Can they shoot 30, high 30s, low 40s and win this game? Absolutely. So my takeaway from the ACC, whether you want to have a negative reaction to how Clemson played in the first half, fine. But UNC still has the guard play to bypass Ole Miss. Chris Beard, an elite tournament coach when it comes to making in-game adjustments. So I may be looking to back Ole Miss live rather than trying to take a piece of this pregame line.
Very good. Awesome spot, Eli. You can follow him on X at Eli Hershkovich. The podcast is called The Lines Podcast, and also he does great work at thelines.com. Thanks for the time. Good luck tonight and this weekend.
Sounds good. Have a good rest of the show, guys.
And Eli was on the Progressive Guest Line.
Get in on the action. First Bet has you covered. Sign up now. Exclusive promotions. Bet on hundreds of great horse races every day, right from your phone or computer. FirstBet.com. Promo code VSiN200. Get a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days. Up to $200. Don't miss out. Start betting today. FirstBet.com.
All right, so much for that Georgia bet, 1 to 10. So I'm glad I kind of got off of that because the number came down. Gonzaga leads 6-0 immediately to begin. And McNeese now 31-15, Clemson with an early basket. Can Georgia get a basket here, too? That was some good stuff from Eli. Very good numbers.
Yes.
And what do you think of that number now? I mean, he's on San Diego. I mean, the numbers come down clearly against Michigan. But
I think it has the potential to be High Point Purdue Part 2. I think they can kill them down low.
Yeah, I'm kind of there with you.
I really think that's offensive rebounds, foul issues. They're going to really have to knock it down from three. And that's what concerns me. Because then again, everything went against High Point. 3-point game with 7 minutes left.
I know.
16 offensive rebounds at that juncture in the game with Purdue. Not to mention, I think they were in the bonus 5 minutes into the second half, wasn't it? 7 minutes in, something like that?
I will say.
I think it's going to add up, and I think it's a great story, but I just think that the size of Michigan will be too much.
So far, like earlier today anyway, like the big dogs, Alabama State is within 18 right now against Auburn, 11 minutes to play in that game. But earlier today, I thought the Wisconsin-Montana game, that was close until late, and then Wisconsin pulled away, eventually covered. And I thought the Purdue-High Point game was maybe a little bit misleading, and High Point had their chances.
Yes.
Win-lose is up next, and we will discuss potential upset victims and Cinderellas in the VSiN March Mania betting guide here on VSiN.
Brown and Mike Somich on Ready, Set, Bet as they get you ready to make your bets for all the weekend games.
We're going to be at the end of this thing with money guns, or I'm just going to be like, begging people for change out on Fremont Street.
It feels like the Twins and the Guardians have higher floors but lower ceilings.
Don't miss out on crucial advice for live betting once the game starts, as well as looking ahead to the upcoming action. Tune in to Ready, Set, Bet, weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Sharp Week on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
This is incredible. Pat Forty, Sports Illustrated. He said in 30-plus years covering this, he can't recall a team seated 7 spots better playing this bad. Clemson is down 22 with 15 minutes left. Their top 2 scorers on the season did not score in the first half. This is wild. And Gonzaga leads Georgia 13-0. 5 minutes in. Pelicans money line plus 650. What's going on in Minnesota now? Back-to-back bad losses. Spurs 3-1. Knicks were sleepwalking last night. Plus, that guy for the Spurs set a record. Played 19 minutes, scored 34 points. It was 7 of 7 from 3. Come on.
Pretty good night.
Kings plus 220. Cavs have lost 3 in a row. Shenanigans in Los Angeles. No Joker, no Murray. Lakers plus 2 to minus 6.5. And the under 232 to 224. Lakers by 12. It fell 228, by the way. Thunder from 9 up to 13.5. Mitch mentioned it earlier. The prop cashes, fewest points by a team in the round of 64, 44.5. SIUE at 40. First to 10, McNeese plus 135. High Point plus 160. NIT, UAB plus 220. George Mason, Samford over 142.5 up to 149. Look at this. Every game. Dayton, Florida Atlantic, 149 up to 153. Furman, North Texas, over 125 up to 132.5. Cal Irvine, Northern Colorado, 147 up to 155.5, 82.72. Utah Valley, San Francisco, over 143 up to 148.5, 79.70. Loyola, San Jose State, over 138.5 up to 142. 73.70. Wisconsin, Montana over 148 up to 152, and Louisville, Creighton over 144 up to 147. Never been a better time to be an owner in the NBA. The Celtics today sold for $6 billion. 6.1. It's a record for an American sports franchise. I believe Wick Grossbeck bought it for $360 million.
Oh.
How's that ROI? Are you kidding?
What would the Lakers go for? Honestly, could they get $15 billion for it? Or the Yankees or the Cowboys?
So you have Yankees, then Montreal, and then Boston, and then the Lakers in terms of titles. So I would think the Lakers would go for more, but how high could you get? You're right.
I mean, in that city?
Yeah. You're right, with all the money, and if the Clippers go for 2.5 or whatever it was,
exactly right.
The Lakers should go for 8. Crazy. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send it in, we'll put you on. Mitch sent this in, number 19, with the happy feet. Look at the little guy, little puppy getting ready every time they bring him his lunch. Pitter patter, happy. Okay, set it down. Get in here, fella. Come on. Get your food, right? All excited. What is he, 5 pounds? Look at him. That's great. Lose some. Kings Cavs under 233.5 to 228.5. Boy, did that explode. I think that was 25-17 end of one.
Is that right?
Oh, it was crazy. Mavs Pacers under 232 down to 227.5. UAB over 151.5 up to 161.5. That was the one loser. And American Mount St. Mary's under 132.5 to 127. Live on the air, 5 minutes in, you knew it was dead on arrival. Raining threes again. Crazy.
Well, to Eli Hershkovich's point, here you think you have a great handicap, and 10 minutes in, you throw it out the window.
Yeah.
That was 4 minutes in last night.
Yeah.
Just like, what is going on here?
Like 9-8, 2 minutes in, something. Good call by Jonathan Davis. Kraken. 0-11 on back-to-backs. They can't compete in any of the games either. Just lay the puck line against them. They were shut out 4-0. I wish they all were like that. Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet, code FTM. Deposit 25, Edge Boost will match it. Edgeboost.bet, promo code FTM.
All right, McNeese, Clemson in a timeout. They're coming out of the timeout as we speak. McNeese up by 22. I laid 7.5 with Clemson in the second half. Now looking so hot to begin. BYU on top of VCU, 32-26. About 2:20 to play in the first half of that game. Gonzaga killing Georgia so far, 15-3.
You can take Clemson 20-1 on the money line. Can you believe it? 40 might be right. I'd have to go back and look. For a 5-12 to be like this is nuts.
Yeah, do you have the bracket in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Who does Duke get in the second round?
Miss State Baylor winner. Oh, you got to be concerned.
I wish you would have given him like Gonzaga.
Yeah. I did one bad beat. Forgot. Mavs were 4-1 on the money line. They led the Pacers by 7 with a minute left. Indiana.
Travesty what happened late in that game.
Oh, was it a 14-2 run to close it or something?
Turnover, foul, turnover, whatever. Just
yeah,
like definition of tanking, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so looking through the March Mania betting guide here at VSiN, Steve Makinen had a great breakdown on several different things. One was the part of the betting guide that points out his potential upset victims and Cinderellas, and he goes down and he uses like 17 sets of stats or his criteria, which include 12 key stat categories, and then like historically how many teams fit the bill and how they fared and why he likes looking at it like this. His upset victims based on his numbers overall, which would be, forget the point spread for a second here, just means like seeded 6th or better and lost their first round game. So 6 through 1 basically. The teams with the strongest upset indicators per his numbers would be Oregon, Michigan, Wisconsin. They won today. Clemson, how about that? Down by 19. Memphis, BYU. BYU up now by 8. 90 seconds to go in the first half.
Wow.
Others close on the list, Arizona, A&M, and Illinois. I'm betting Xavier tomorrow.
Sure.
Much like Eli is. Potential Cinderella qualifiers using his 17 different categories. Again, in the March Mania betting guide, you can get it at vsin.com/betting-guides. So 7th or worse and could win at least 2 games. His best potential Cinderellas. Arkansas and Kansas, but they play each other. Gonzaga. Oh my God. 21-3. I looked away for 5 seconds. It's an 8-0 run.
What is going on today?
Holy hell.
21-3.
UConn, UCLA. Others with strong numbers on the list. Colorado State, Xavier, Texas. They played each other last night. New Mexico, Louisville did not go well. And then St. Mary's. UCLA, if they beat Utah State, they get Tennessee?
Yes.
Yeah. I would be intrigued by that game. I would also, you make it like 135 or whatever, I'd have to go under automatically between those two teams.
Clemson, sorry. You got more?
No, I'm done.
Clemson is 35-1 on a money line in play.
They just had it down to 17, and now it's back up to 21.
12 minutes left. Well, they get the 45.
Well,
they're down 45-24. Will Clemson get the 45? 35-1 on a money line.
I hope so, because I laid the 7.5, Jack. Boys, you better start getting it together here. Make a little bit of a run for me.
What was the score out of the gates? Because I was
18-8.
I was driving in. So from the get-go, it's been nothing but McNeese.
Well, but Clemson did nothing in the first half.
Yeah, they couldn't.
So there was never one stretch where it's like, okay, Clemson's in control of this game, or that looks good, or they're doing something really well here on offense. That has never existed yet so far. They can't shoot.
Yeah. 6-6. Okay. Yeah, you're right, because they didn't score. Yeah. 6-6, 10-6. And then the big run happened. And then that's when we got on the air, and the next thing you know, 8-6 became 23-8.
Right. Wow.
Oh, mama. Oh.
Well, again,
this is stunning. It's 23-3 Gonzaga, and Clemson's down 21 with 12 minutes left.
Right.
Oh.
I guess that qualifies as your first kind of big dog of the day, right? If it continues to go this way?
Well, it's one thing for a 7-point dog to win. But, I mean, if they're going to take them out like this, what is this? This is like Gulf Coast. That would be the better.
Yeah.
Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast, a 15 seed went to the Sweet, but they led both games by 18, I believe. It'll never happen again.
I got the 5-12 for you. Murray State Marquette.
Oh, good one. John Morant. Blew them out, right?
I think they beat Marquette by like 30 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
It was never a game.
Yeah. Okay.
Smoked them.
Yeah. Not bad.
That Murray State team was legit.
Mm-hmm.
They were the real deal.
27-3 Gonzaga. Oh, boy. This Houston number.
What's going on?
This is going to be some number against Houston.
Oh, you're spot on.
It's what? Well, you called it last week, though. You've been saying it for a month because how high power rated Gonzaga is, and now they're going to be. It's 20. What is this?
Oh, my God. We're going to have 3 teams score fewer than 40 points? Put a team total up right now on Georgia. Come on, make one. What do you got for me?
You can get a better number on Georgia than you can on Clemson.
To win the game outright.
Yes, I know.
And I'm not even 9 minutes into the game. Oh. They call it the madness for a reason. All right, so we'll continue here. McNeese Clemson getting late second half. VCU BYU will be beginning the second half, or closing the first half anyway. That's coming up on VSiN.
we're out.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to load funds into my gaming apps.
Stormy, really